June 15, 1913. Even he who might have attained a perfect contemplation in silence and solitude would have arrived at it only by withdrawing from his body, by disregarding it, and so the substance of which the body is constituted would remain as impure, as imperfect as before, since he would have left it to itself. And by a misguided mysticism, through the lure of supraphysical splendors, the egoistic desire to unite with thee for his own personal satisfaction, he would have turned his back upon the very reason of his earthly existence. He would have refused like a coward to accomplish his mission. The redemption and purification of matter. To know that a part of our being is perfectly pure, to commune with this purity, to be identified with it, can be useful only if this knowledge is later used to hasten the transfiguration of the earth, to accomplish thy sublime work. June 17, 1913. Grant, O Lord, that I may be like a fire that illumines and gives warmth, like a spring of water that quenches thirst, like a tree that shelters and protects. Men are so unhappy and ignorant and have so great a need of help. My trust in thee, the certitude within me grow deeper day by day, and day by day too I feel thy love more ardent within my heart, thy light more brilliant and yet also more sweet. And more am I unable to distinguish thy work from my life and my individual being from the entire earth. O Lord, Lord, thy splendor is infinite. Marvelous is thy truth, and thy all-powerful love shall save the world. June 18, 1913. Translation by Sri Aurobindo. To turn towards thee, unite with thee, live in thee and for thee is supreme happiness, unmixed joy, immutable peace. It is to breathe infinity, to soar in eternity, to no longer feel one's limits, escape from time and space. Why do men flee from these boons as though they feared them? What a strange thing is ignorance, that source of all suffering. How miserable that obscurity which keeps men away from the very thing which would bring them happiness and subjects them to this painful school of ordinary existence fashioned entirely from struggle and suffering. June 27, 1913. Thy voice is so modest, so impartial, so sublime in its patience and mercy, that it does not make itself heard with any authority, any force of will, but comes like a cool breeze, sweet and pure, like a crystalline murmur that brings a note of harmony to a discordant concert. Yet, for him who knows how to listen to the note, to breathe that breeze, it holds such treasures of beauty, such a fragrance of pure serenity and noble grandeur, that all foolish illusions vanish or are transformed into a joyful acceptance of the marvelous truth that has been glimpsed. July 21, 1913. Translation by Sri Aurobindo. Yet what patience is needed! How imperceptible the stages of progress! Oh, how I call thee from the very depths of my heart! True light, sublime love, divine Master, who art the source of our light and of our living, our guide and our protector, the soul of our soul and the life of our life, the reason of our being, the supreme knowledge, the immutable peace. July 23rd, 1913. O Lord, inconceivable splendor, may thy beauty spread through all the earth. May thy love be kindled in every heart, and thy peace reign over all. A deep and solemn chant, smiling and subtle, rises from my heart, and I do not know whether this chant goes from me to thee, or comes from thee to me, or whether thou and I and the entire universe are this marvelous chant of which I have just become conscious. Surely there is no longer any thou or I, or any separate universe. Only an immense harmony is there, sublime and infinite, which is all things, and of which all things will one day grow aware. It is the harmony of boundless love, love victorious over all suffering and all obscurity. By this law of love, thy law, I want to live more and more integrally. To it unreservedly I give myself, and all my being exults in an inexpressible peace. August 2, 1913. 13. This morning, as I was glancing over the month that is beginning and wondering how I could serve thee better, I heard the small voice within like a murmur in the silence. And this is what it said to me. See how very little all outer circumstances matter. Why strive and strain so to realize thy own conception of truth? Be more supple, more trusting. The only duty is not to let oneself be troubled by anything, to torment oneself about doing the right thing causes as much harm as a bad will. Only in a calm as of deep waters can be found the possibility of true service. And this reply was so luminous and pure. It carried within itself such a striking reality that the state it described was communicated without any difficulty. It seemed to me I was floating in the calm of deep waters. I understood. I saw clearly what the best attitude would be. And now I have only to ask thee, O sublime Master, my supreme teacher, to give me the strength and clear-sightedness I need to remain constantly in this state. Do not torment thyself, child. Silence, peace, peace. August 8, 1913. O sweet harmony that dwellest in all things, sweet harmony that fillest my heart, manifest thyself in the most external forms of life, in every feeling, every thought, every action. All is to me beautiful, harmonious, silent, despite the outer turmoil. And in this silence, it is Thou, O Lord, whom I see. And I see Thee in so unique a way that I can express this perception only as that of an unvarying smile. In truth, the real nature of the feeling experienced in the presence of the sweetest, most calm, most compassionate smile has a poor resemblance to what I feel when I see Thee in this way. May Thy peace be with all.